A warm good morning to all of you. Hope everyone is doing well and everyone's preparation is going well. Welcome to Vijay Mohan IAS Academy, and this is Vijay Mohan. As I already told you many times, and I told you in the previous video also, as your preliminary examination is nearby, you need to put consistent efforts and continuous efforts in your preparation. And apart from concentrating on your preliminary examination, you need to focus on your mains answer writing also, because that is going to be the crux of your selection, right? So as you know that we are in the module of Tspsc Group 1 Mains paper 4 video course and test series, which is exclusively intended for English medium students, right? And as part of this video course, now we are in the module of Indian economy and development, and we are dealing particularly with chapter 2, that is poverty and unemployment, right? And earlier we have done one previous video on the poverty and unemployment, and we have we broadly discussed about what are the probability of we broadly discussed about the chapter and what are the elements or what are the issues that are being asked or that are being framed in the chapter, and what is the importance of those issues. And we also saw the probability of questions being framed, which are the important areas that you can expect questions. And in that issue we had seen, or we discussed about concepts of poverty and inequality and its measurement and approaches to poverty, capability approach, multidimensional index, trends of poverty, and reasons and consequences of poverty, and poverty alleviation program, their successes and limitations. So we broadly saw these are the areas that there is a probability of questions being framed, right? And apart from that, we had a discussion about concepts of poverty, what is poverty, basic definition of poverty, and what is the broader approach to poverty, and what is the meaning of absolute poverty, and what is the definition of World Bank or the poverty line defined by the World Bank with respect to the absolute poverty. And apart from that, we had a discussion and apart from that, we had a discussion about relative poverty. What is a relative poverty? How relative poverty is linked to inequality, right? And I also mentioned about the measures of inequality, through which methods you can calculate the inequality, right? And I mentioned two methods, that is Lorentz curve method and Gini coefficient. We will see in detail about these two methods as we move forward, right? So, and in the previous video we also saw we also had a discussion about the status of inequality. What is the prevailing status of inequality according to the World Inequality Report 2022, and how the wealth is being distributed among the population, and what is the average household wealth, right? Then we had a discussion about the gender inequalities, what are the prevailing gender inequalities, and then we had a discussion about social inequality, right? And then finally we also had a discussion about new generation of inequalities that are arising, that are coming to the fore in the Indian economy, right? So up to here we had a discussion in the previous video, and then we will move forward in this video. So what are the consequences of these inequalities? So now we will move to the methods to calculate inequality. I already told you there are two methods. One is Lorentz curve method and another one is Gini coefficient method. First we will see Lorentz curve method, then we will move to Gini coefficient method. Now we will see the graphical representation of Lorentz curve. See now, here in the x-axis we are taking cumulative share of people from lowest to highest. In the y-axis we are showing cumulative share of income and from lowest to highest. Here the line AB shows the line of equality, and the curve AEB shows this is actually the Lorentz curve, right? Now if you see in the figure, AB is the line of equality. In the figure, AB is line of equality and line AB is the Lorentz curve, which is nothing but the line of inequality, right? And if you see the point E shows that here, if you observe in the figure, just give me some time. Yeah. If you see here, the point E shows that the 90%. Here, if you draw a line from point E to the x-axis, 90% of people, if you draw a line on the y-axis, 90% of people earn 60% of income. 90% of people from the bottom earning how much? 60% of the income, and the remaining 10% population are earning nearly 40% of income in the economy. So this shows that there is a prevailing inequality in the economy. So this is how the inequality is being calculated using the Lorenz curve, right? Now the point E, shows that 90% of people earn 60% of income, and the remaining 10% of people earns the remaining 40% of income, as I shown you in the graphical representation. It shows that there is inequality, right? So this is the method to calculate inequality in the using Lorenz curve, right? Now we will see about the Gini coefficient, how inequality is being calculated from the Gini coefficient. This is the end of the Gini coefficient and Lorenz curve methods. Now we will see one previous question which is asked in APPSC 2017 mains examination, right? So what is relative poverty? What are the reasons for its presence in India? Explain the Gini coefficient and Lorenz curve methods of measuring relative poverty. సాపేక్ష పేదరికం అనగానేమి, భారతదేశంలో సాపేక్ష పేదరికం ఉండడానికి గల కారణాలను తెలపండి, సాపేక్ష పేదరికాన్ని కొలిచేందుకు ఉపయోగించే జిని గుణకము మరియు లోరెంజ్ వక్రరేఖ పద్ధతులను వివరించండి. So what is the approach to this question? First, try to introduce the question by succinctly or precisely saying what is the meaning of relative poverty. Write a simple definition of relative poverty, and also write that relative poverty is relevant for calculating the inequality prevailing in economy. So relative poverty shows the comparative perspective of poverty rather than absolute perspective or individual perspective of poverty, right? So that will be suffice for your introduction, right? Then what are the reasons for its presence in India? We will see as we move forward into the other aspects of this chapter. What are the reasons for presence of poverty in India? So you simply explain what are the 4 or 5 reasons for presence in India. Like, so what are the social reasons, what are the economic reasons, right? What are the political and what are the policy reasons? So if you explain 4 or 5 reasons with examples, then it will be sufficient for your answer. Now sorry. Now the third part of your answer is the Gini coefficient and Lorenz curve methods. As I already told you, just mention what is the meaning of Gini coefficient and how it shows the degree of prevailing income inequality in an economy, and what is the meaning of 0 and 1 in the Gini coefficient, right? And mention it through the graphical representation, right? And similarly, same for Lorenz curve also, you mention Lorenz curve with the graphical curve, and if possible, you show one example by taking one point in the Lorenz curve, right? Now, and write an appropriate conclusion by showing or by giving facts and examples of prevailing status of inequality in the Indian economy as well as global inequality. So this will be very suffice for this type of question, particularly this question. Now, based on our discussion above and previous video, I have given one practice question. Try to answer this question. What do you mean by income inequality? What is the meaning of income inequality? Critically evaluate the status of inequality prevailing in India. Also examine its consequences on India's socio-economic development.